And I think we are live.
Oh,
Amber
hello.
Eyes.
What's good?
So you guys just missed us trying to think of songs that we both know. And you know a ton of songs, I know a ton of songs. And for whatever reason, this is like every conversation I have with a singer. It's like, what song do you know? And then none of us can think of the songs we know.
Well, it's funny because now I finally understand. So I sing at a lot of bars and restaurants.
Yeah.
I finally understand why when you ask people what they want to hear, why their mind goes...
It goes blank, right? Yeah. What is it? There's probably a name for that like phenomenon of just when people
it's
put you on the
like,
spot.
yeah, when you're put on the spot, it's like no matter how many artists you love, no matter even if you just listen to a song in the car, you forget everything.
Right, yeah. Well, I mean, I have learned this over the years, just even on social media. I never give people more than 2 options for things. I try to just narrow things down to like, or 2 or 3 options, you know? 'Cause
Smart.
the minute that you have too many options, it's like, you know, when you go to the store and there's so many different types of brands that do the same, like, whether it's phones or whatever, and you're like, which one do I get?
I thought we
They're
were
all
talking
the
about
same.
bread, but that's just the Portuguese in me.
That too, yeah, no. Bread works as well. There's a lot of different types of bread. There's Wonder Bread. There's the other type of bread.
Nature's Harvest.
Yeah, Nature's Harvest.
It's so good.
Well, I think I would get that. I think that sounds like a bread that I would.
45 calories for 2 slices.
Look at that. That's healthy.
Sorry, I'm a psychopath when it comes to that stuff.
Well, no, you are with working out too. You told me that you work out like nonstop, like every day.
Yeah.
Basically.
I went to the gym
you're
for...
on a treadmill. You can't see, but below her there's a treadmill.
If I went on the treadmill with these, I would just start laughing.
Death. Yeah, I would just.
I would fall on my face.
Yeah.
Actually, can I tell you, there was a guy next to me at the gym the other day.
Yeah.
You can tell me. This poor guy. He was a bit older, and he gets on the treadmill, and he goes to like, the treadmill's already started, mind you. He goes to take off his sweatshirt.
Oh,
and
that's hard. Oh no. Oh, that's my nightmare. I feel like I would do something like that.
I tried to help him. I reached out. There was only so much I could do.
Oh, that's so sad.
I felt really bad.
Well, if he's out there, I hope he's feeling better now.
Yeah,
and don't let that scare you of going into the gym, because you know sometimes you can be.
No, because it makes everyone else's day.
Well, that's that too. That's that too. But
I'm awful.
We're off to a great start. No. So anyway, let's go away from
dark humor.
The dark humor. We'll get back to the dark humor. We'll come back to that. But let me congratulate you on your Postmodern Jukebox debut.
Thank you.
And,
it was fun.
If you guys didn't watch it yet, go to the Postmodern Jukebox channel and watch Bad at Love. And you got married to a mannequin.
Slender Man, apparently.
Slender Man, apparently. Yeah, I didn't know what this thing was. Did you know about that thing? I don't know.
I didn't think about it until, first of all, someone commented, but then someone sent me like a GIF of Slender.
And it was exactly the same?
I was dying.
Yeah.
I was like, actually, again, very accurate, because it was supposed to be like a dark portrayal. I was like, yeah, it works.
Well, yeah, I mean, it works out, I guess. Yeah, I can't really keep up on all the memes, all the kids and their memes.
All those dang teenagers.
Those millennials and their memes.
My dad thought it was hilarious.
So your dad knows about the
Oh, not
thing?
that.
Oh,
Did you
okay.
see my text to you with a screenshot of his comment?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's great.
I always knew you'd marry a dummy.
That's amazing.
Accurate. Still not married.
So it sounds like Dad has a good sense of humor.
Oh, I need to do my nails.
That's okay. They're not looking. I mean, we don't have it zoomed in on nails. So there you go. Well, maybe people can see that.
They're horrendous.
It's okay. We're going to get past that.
Behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes. This is real life. That's what Scottcast is about. So, so let's back things up. So before all the PMJ stuff, and you have a really unique voice. It's kind of bluesy, it's soulful, and it's also very jazz influenced as well. So how did you come into, probably everybody, that's watching that is familiar with, how you sing, probably want to know how you came to, on that.
This compilation of life?
I'm doing a terrible job explaining what I was
No, you're good, you're good. So the one thing that my mother's vocal coach,
cool.
Sharon Jensen, big shout out.
There you go.
She's a vocal coach, and growing up, she very heavily influenced me with like jazz music as well as country. So like, there's a really funny video that I definitely took off the internet, but it's a video of me singing "Cowboy Sweetheart" by Leanne Rimes and yodeling. And
that's right. You told me you yodel as well.
No.
Okay, hold on. Don't panic. This does every single episode. It shuts off because I don't know how to shut off the auto timer. So this literally happens every stay.
I have the same camera and I have the same problem.
Really?
Yeah. I've
Come on, Canon.
I've looked into it and I can't figure it out either.
Really? Okay. Well, I'm
And
glad
it's
I'm not
always
alone.
when I like need it most. That's the worst part. I'm like,
Yeah.
when I don't need it, it'll just keep rolling. But yeah, so she heavily influenced me with like country music and jazz.
That's cool.
And then my father played like a handful of albums in the car, which were Johnny Cash's Greatest Hits,
Okay.
Alanis Morissette Jagged Little Pill album,
Okay.
Dixie Chicks, James Taylor Greatest Hits,
Nice.
and AC/DC. So, as a result, I think it was just a manifest of like all those things.
It was like take those. Well, that's kind of like kind of accurate, right?
Yeah, like grit mixed with some cleanness, mixed with blues and soul and all that stuff, and it just kind of. And for a while, I tried to stray away from that. So for a while, I tried to strictly do country, and like I have so many songs out where it's like just country.
Oh yeah.
Because like I was trying to figure out who I was as an artist and as my style, and I was like purposefully singing like very clean and very and then I just grew to hate everything because like it's almost like you're trying to be a persona that you're not or a voice that you're not to mimic whatever. And now I'm finally singing the way that like feels most comfortable or most natural, and it's like people are like, where did this come from? I'm like, what happened?
So
no,
it
it's
was
like, little did you know, closet singer. That's what I was doing all the time.
So that's but that's that common story. I had Ariana Savalas on here last week, and I don't know if you've ever met her, if you've gotten a chance to meet her.
No, I've
awesome.
listened to her. She's phenomenal.
Great, but she, she's so unique what she does. She started as as pop. She kind of like there was like a video of her singing like Britney Spears style, and it wasn't until she embraced kind of what she naturally wanted to do that she found any kind of success. So I think that's like a common journey that
absolutely.
Because especially when you grow up and you see what's big on TV or on the radio, and you feel like, well, okay, these are the things that are popular. I have to do one of these things.
Right.
But nobody ever thinks about the thing that hasn't been done.
Right. Well, because instrumentally, a lot of my stuff is almost like a lot of my original stuff is very like almost country country arrangements.
That's cool.
I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So like with slide guitar.
Yeah, exactly. And but the thing is that like it doesn't necessarily mean that I have to sing country. That's what I always got confused with. I think that's why I fell into this like weird like, oh well, if I'm gonna do this style of music, I have to sing like this. Yeah. But then as I got older, I was like, I'm going to sing how the heck I want. Like, I don't know if you got to listen to any of my stuff, but, like, there's a song that I put out, Ecstasy, where, like, musically, it's very almost country Motown. But I'm, like, finally just singing, like, where I sing.
Nice.
Like how
That's
I
great.
like me.
Yeah. Which is harder than it seems, I think, for most people.
Yeah. Well, because this industry is so monopolizing on, like, a specific genre or a specific sound, and then you have country singers who are now doing like hip hop country. So I feel like anything goes at this point.
Well, that's like the big thing now. That's every country song right now. There's a rap in the middle of it or something like that.
Baby, lay me on down, like that's how.
There you go. That's your.
That's my interpretation.
You just wrote a hit. There you go.
That's it. That is a hit.
Yeah.
That's a song. You don't know that song?
What song is it?
Oh, what is it? Baby, lay me on down.
Okay.
I can't think of the lyrics. But it's on the radio. I don't know. I hear it all the time.
I heard it. Well, country is good for. They always have like clever little turns of phrases. That seems to be what I appreciate. Where, I mean, it's probably the last chart where there's really an emphasis on songwriting as opposed to production. Like where every other chart, the pop charts right now, it's all production. It's like how things, what kind of crazy sounds, what kind of EDM type of stuff. Can you do to it.
No, absolutely.
So country does that, but it's also very funny because sometimes country kind of self-parodies itself. Like you'll hear a lyric and it will go and it will
like
mention
Cruise.
like all the stuff like that.
Baby, you a song. That's
There
the
you go.
lyric.
That's
not you're a song. Baby, you a song.
You a song. Okay, there you go.
You a song.
Let's do a song. Speaking of songs, let's play something.
Okay.
Let's okay. Maybe we can. Well, I was thinking now you mentioned like those influences and everything. Maybe we do something country. But is there something I know like Johnny Cash? Do you do any?
Yeah, I mean, I do Folsom, but it's in D, if that's cool.
That's totally cool. That's the
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So here we go. Folsom Prison Blues. We've never done this before.
I'm so excited. Well, I hear the train coming, rolling around the bend. I ain't seen the sunshine since I don't know when. Well, I'm stuck in Folsom Prison, down beach dragging on. But that train keeps rolling, all down the sand town. Well, when I was just a baby, Mama told me, son, always be a good boy, don't you ever play with guns. But I shot a man, Reno, just to watch him die. Yeah, when I hear that whistle blowing, I hear my head cry. Come on, Scott, give it up. Well, I bet this rich folks eating broken bears down in car, probably drinking coffee, yeah, smoking big cigars. Well, I know I had it coming. I know I can't be free, but those people keep on moving, and that's what tortures me. Well, if they free me from this prison, if my rail travel's mine, then I'm moving on little farther down the line. Far from Folsom Prison, that's where I want to stay. You know I let that lonesome whistle blow my blues away. Blow my blues away.
Hey, there we go. And Bryce, ladies and gentlemen, that was awesome. That was really fun. That was like completely unplanned, and
I like that.
that worked out
That
well.
was good.
I think that's like the best. I love it when I always like. I feel like I do this every episode. We come up with like 3 songs or something like that, and we play none of those songs and just
It's all good.
spontaneously jam on it. So
I love
sorry
spontaneity.
to throw you on the bus on that one, but
You're not
worked
throwing
out.
me on the bus if it's Johnny Cash. Johnny Cash is my
There we go.
man. Anytime someone requests that at a gig, I'm like, thank you, God.
So let's go back. Childhood, you're doing all the singing, you're doing the country stuff, you're doing. I mean, imagine you started performing at a very young age, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So my mother performed in, again, back to Sharon.
Yeah.
She performed in 2 big bands.
Cool.
On the East Coast, the Moonlighters and the Meadowlarks. And they were like 16-piece bands. They would go out. They do like what I do now, like weddings and private events and fundraisers and festivals and blah, blah, blah. And when I was 4 or 5, I would just like go on stage with them and do like the song that I was telling, almost like Being in Love, Orange Colored Sky, like some Natalie Cole stuff.
Okay.
And it was just so much fun, and like it definitely just opened my eyes to like, oh my gosh, you could do this for life. This is all I want to do. It was just
It's like I know. I felt that the first time that I did a gig and then they paid me. I was like, this is amazing. Like this exists. You can just I mean, not to make it sound that easy, but it's a great feeling when you get to perform and
absolutely. I didn't know that like you could get paid to play in bars. I was 17.
Yeah, right?
I was 17 years old.
You're playing in bars? That's illegal.
Well, Yeah.
Okay.
So I was like kind of living out of my car for a bit.
Whoa, okay.
I don't know if I should be telling the story,
That's
but I'm
fine,
going to tell
you
it
know?
anyway.
Okay, let's do it. Yeah.
And
So you're living out of your car.
Yep.
You're 17 years old?
yeah, and
That's pretty young to be living out of your car, too.
yeah, that's a longer, deeper story, but we won't
Okay.
get into that.
Fair
Just
enough.
that's where we're at. So we're living out of the car, and my friend Jackie was having her 21st birthday, and we went to this restaurant that they knew that they could. This restaurant bar they knew that they could get me into.
Okay, I see.
So we're there, and there's this guy playing guitar and singing. And my friend was gone at this point. But she goes, my friend sings. Can she sing happy birthday to me? So I get on the mic, and I do happy birthday. And Darren, the guy, was like, oh, my God. You're great. Do you want to do some songs during my break? And I was like, sure. I only knew like 4 chords on guitar. G,
4
D,
chords
E
can
minor,
get you very
C.
far. That's really all you need for all the songs.
No, for real. I got up, I did a couple songs, and the owner, came up to me and was like, Darren's actually done here. This is like one of his last weeks. Would you mind like taking over for him and being our in-house musician 3 nights a week? And I was like, sure. Because, I mean, like I said, I was literally like sleeping at friends' houses and stuff, and like I didn't have like any income, so I took the job and I learned like 200 songs in a week, and just that was it. I just started gigging, and then ever since then, that's literally all I've done since. So it's like same thing, that feeling of like, oh my gosh, I can like do what I love and provide for myself. Are you kidding me?
Right.
And then he put me up. Actually, the sushi chef that he had. They had a 2-bedroom apartment, and the other room was free, empty. So he ended up giving me somewhere to live too.
There you go. Wow.
So it was super rad. Like life was just like
that really worked out very well. Yeah. Well, but that's and that's kind of like the catch about, you get to do what you love and everything, but it also takes a lot of work.
Oh, absolutely.
And everybody that you see that kind of has success out there, you're only seeing kind of the tip of the iceberg. You see what. You see people after they blow up or whatever, but you don't see like the numbers of gigs. I mean, I'm sure you've probably sung like thousands of nights at places, at little bars or at weddings or something like that. I know I've done thousands of gigs, in the corner on a piano.
Yep. When
I was going through school and when I was moved to New York and everything.
Sometimes 2 days.
Yeah.
4-hour gig, brunch
Around
gig,
the holidays,
4-hour night gig.
Sometimes 3.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if singers can do that. I guess you guys.
No, I have.
Really? Yeah.
I have, and I just.
That was like the holiday season. It was like you'd say yes to every single gig in New York City. And it would just be like a week of just doing. You wake up, you do a brunch gig.
Yep.
Then you do, if you had some kind of day job or if you're teaching lessons or something like that, and then a gig at night, and then like a late night gig. It was
Yep, when I first started working for the wedding...
That's what it takes. Like, that's really what it takes.
No, for real. When I first started working in the wedding band shortly after taking those bar gigs, literally my first year, so my friend Erica Van Pelt, she was on Idol as well. She's phenomenal. And she was the A-list singer in this band. And she had just gotten on Idol. So they needed someone to fill in for her. So not only was I just joining this band, and I already had... I was like the workhorse at this point because of the fact that I was new. So they would just give me like a bunch of like all the club dates, all the whatever, just threw me on. But then on top of it, I got all her dates too. So that summer was the craziest summer of my life. It was Friday night club gig, brunch at this golf course on Saturday, wedding at night Saturday, Sunday morning, early like breakfast gig, and then a club gig at night. 5 gigs every weekend for like 4 months.
Wow.
And it was insane. But I thank God for every single experience because all that stuff just made me like prepared, either vocally or
like
mentally.
Your 10,000 hours. That's like,
100%.
It's not even just practicing your instrument. It's actually performing and having that kind of practice, performing over and over again.
Yeah. No, I've worked a lot.
Yeah, you put in the work. So then, now you did one of the shows? You were on a show?
Yes, I did. One? I did X Factor and American Idol.
Okay. X Factor's not British. That's not the British show? Or is it?
It was. So they did 3 seasons in America, and I was on season 2.
Got it. Okay. All right.
How was
that? How was that experience? Was that weird to go from singing at, singing at a local bar or something like that to national TV? Was that like a weird
Well, it was really weird.
Surreal moment.
Yeah, absolutely. So the way they had the auditions set up, it's kind of like America's Got Talent, where it's like on a huge stage in front of a huge audience. Like it's not like in a private room or anything where you're like,
all right.
or like I think the Voice does that too. They do like a big audience, but
I want to get one of the spinning chairs. I mean, that's.
my gosh.
I don't really watch any of the shows, but I want to get the spinning chair.
I think I would get sick though, because those
Motion
spin
sickness?
around so.
They go pretty fast.
fast.
They got to be careful. They're gonna give somebody whiplash.
I'm
It's gonna be
telling
a
you, like
lawsuit.
when they hit their buzzer and they spin, I'm like, how did they not just throw up? How did they not just get dizzy? But yeah, no. So going on that stage, and especially for X Factor, they asked me like so many personal questions. What people don't really like know is how many auditions you go through in advance. So like I did 3 auditions before the actual audition, and the first 2 auditions, I just sang. I didn't talk. I didn't want to tell anybody anything about me because I had been through a lot, and I didn't want to be like, oh, woe is me. Don't, you know what I mean? I didn't want to do that. So,
But that's exactly what they want on those shows.
that's exactly what I did. Well, yeah. So the third audition was the executive producer round, and I go into this room, and I'm in front of a camera, and the producer was such a sweetheart, but he really did ask like some of the most personal questions ever. And he's like, well, what does music mean to you? All I said was, it's got me through a lot, just like any other musician. And then he dug deeper, deeper. He's like, what did it get you through? And then he asked me, I'm literally in tears because I hadn't talked to anyone about most of the stuff that I had been to, other than the people like who were involved. And has me in full tears, and he goes, you may sing now.
Oh no. And they're just like, this is good television.
Exactly. So then they knew exactly what questions were trigger questions. So when I did the actual audition, which I didn't even know I was going to do, I got a maybe via email. And like 3 days before the audition, they were like, you're good to go. We're going to let you do it. And I was like, shoot, I have so much I have to prepare right now, and made my piano track for my audition, whatever. And I go to the audition. They do an 1.5 hour long interview with me before I go on stage, again asking me like all the most ruthlessly personal questions.
And this is right before going on stage.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, wow.
So already it was like gonna be a crazy experience, but then on top of it, it was just like such an emotionally like draining and mentally draining and like spiritually, just everything just was laid out on that stage.
Right.
But it weirdly felt good to like get it all off my chest. And then when I did Idol, it was weird because it was like the complete opposite. They were just like, who are you as an artist? And I was like,
You're like, I
you want to
say
know?
that? Yeah.
You want to know? I'll tell you. So that experience was just complete polar opposite. I got to do an original song on the show, and it was just, they were both amazing in their own right.
Got it, yeah.